It's not Lucas warm, it's lukewarm. Hi flower friends, it's Nicole from Flower Hill Farm, and I'm growing cut flowers for sale in upstate New York. So I cannot even describe to you how excited I am to get my hands in the dirt and to start some Lisianthus, but there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about first, and that is a quick update on my eucalyptus. All right, let's be honest. I started eucalyptus, I'll grab it. I started it on December 4th, which is about 6 weeks or so earlier, maybe a little, almost 2 months earlier than I did last year. And my husband killed the seedlings. Let me explain. So I had 60 soil blocks and I had them on my heat mat, and over here I have a different sort of light. They're not just the LED shop lights. I have one of those expensive grow lights with the pinks and the purples and the reds and the blues, and I was at work and I forgot to water them that morning. I didn't mist them that morning. I sent him a text. I said, hey babe, could you go downstairs and mist my eucalyptus and lower the light a little bit, because the light, we had been using it since last spring and the light was all the way up to the ceiling in the basement, and I just wanted it to be lowered like a foot or so. He knows how low I put these lights on my seedlings, so he lowered this really intense light almost about 1.5 inches above the eucalyptus, and I came home and they were all fried with the exception of just a couple of them. And the ones that are still living, they're doing quite well. So there are 7 of them. There are 7 of them that survived. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 of these are doing okay, and these are the silver drop eucalyptus babies. Out of 60, I have 7. Hey, it is what it is. It happens all the time. So then if you watched that video of me starting the eucalyptus seeds, you'll remember that I did have some left over in the seed packet, which I have right here. It's empty, but this is the seed packet from Johnny's. And I had more. So then, turns out I had exactly 41 seeds. So I did 40 soil blocks, and I have about a 60% germination. These are doing really well. I don't know if you can even see them. They're doing fantastic, so not all is lost. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about quickly is every single day I get messages from people asking how they can support me and support my channel. They live too far away to buy my flowers, but they really would love to support me. So I've started a membership portion of the channel. You could check it out. There's a little button that says join. You click on it and there are a couple of different options. My daughter is 13 years old, Veda. She wants to be a graphic designer. She's helped me create some fun emojis. I'll put them up on the screen here. And they're just a super fun way to stay connected and be part of this flower community. If you don't join the membership, nothing here will change. I'll still be uploading content just as I normally do. A membership will get you the fun emojis and also some behind the scenes photos that will be members only on my community tab. So anyway, just a fun way to check it out and a way for you guys to support me who have been asking to do so. Let's get back to those Lizzies. Okay, so now on to the Lisianthus. I have, for some reason, thought it was right for me to start 21 varieties of Lisianthus this year from seed. Last year, I did 4. So here's the box of all my Lisianthus. I am going to be starting them all today. And wait, do you have enough room on your heat mat for that? No, actually I don't. So instead of doing it the way that I normally would do, which would be last year I soil blocked, I'm not doing that this year. And there are a couple of reasons why I'm not doing that. Number 1, starting them in the soil blocks, I am not gonna have enough room on my heat mats. I have 2 48-inch long heat mats. So I have 8 feet of heat space. I don't have enough space to start all of the varieties that I want to start today. So the second reason I'm not going to be using the soil blocks is because I think they just need to be in their trays for so long that last year they struggled and they got root bound or something. I had something happen to them where they weren't happy. So out of the 300 or so seeds that I started last year, I think I put 40 plants into the ground. So I'm just trying it a different way. And here is what I'm going to be doing. So you know these meat trays that I collect, these are just styrofoam trays that are left over from a pound of sausage or ground beef or pork chops or chicken or whatever have you. And I'm going to be filling the tray with this. This is the only thing I need today are my seeds, my growing medium, and some vermiculite I'm using today. So instead of doing them individually in little soil blocks or in plug trays, to start these out, I am going to be just scattering them on a tray. So I'm going to be just putting the soil on the tray, sprinkling the seeds on top, and then sprinkling the vermiculite on top as well. A lot of people are asking me why I'm starting my Lisianthus so early, and I can tell you that this is not early. For Lisianthus, they are the longest. They take so long to grow. They're incredibly slow. Last year, I started them on January 29th, and they were about the size of a quarter when I put them into the ground. I think they might have gotten a little bit bigger if I didn't use the soil blocking method. So what I'm gonna do is keep them in these trays until they have, you know, maybe a second set of true leaves, and then I'm going to take them out of the tray and pot them up into a 200 plug tray. Let me go grab that for you. 200 plug tray. It's the same size as a 72. It's the same size as any other one, as a 128. It's just the size of the holes are much smaller. They're actually similar in size to a soil block, but the root system goes much deeper. Another reason why I'm not putting them directly into these trays is I am not a big fan of, say that I direct sow them into this plug tray and I only get like a 70% germination rate. I'm gonna have so many empty holes here. For me, that's a giant waste of space underneath my lights. So I wanna make sure that all of these holes are full so that I'm using my space as well as I can. From prior experience, these are not even gonna be bumped up from the foam trays to the plug trays until they're 7 or 8 weeks old. That's how long they will take in order to form the first couple of sets of leaves. And then I'll put them in this, which I will fill probably with Pro Mix in here. So germination, growing medium. This is Lambert. So this is a Lambert LM GPS, which means germination, plugs, and seedlings. And this is what my friend who has a nursery up the road uses. It's what he recommended. He has a nursery with, you know, like perennial flowers and some annuals and some hanging baskets and stuff like that. So this is what he recommended for me. And then this vermiculite is just, it was a $5 bag of vermiculite that I picked up at Lowe's. I wouldn't mind ordering it online, but I feel like Amazon overprices vermiculite like nobody's business. So this bag was $5 at Lowe's. It was $15 online. So, I don't really want to go into a store right now, but Brad Pitt had to go buy a new heater for the garage because our heater broke. So he was going to Lowe's and said, vermiculite please? And so he grabbed a bag for me. There are a couple of different diseases that are common for Lisianthus, and the first is rosetting. And rosetting will happen if the plant is under a lot of stress, say it's getting root bound, or if the plant gets too hot. It doesn't like to be hot when it's growing and you know, developing roots and stuff like that. It likes to remain fairly on the cool side, which is why you can actually plant Lisianthus out before your last frost in the spring. The other thing that Lisianthus is prone to is something called fusarium. I'm gonna write it on the screen because I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but this is a soil-borne disease, and you can tell that it's fusarium because it'll be like golden brown spots, and there's no way, it's not going to come back from that. You have to toss those plants out. I think I might have had some last year. I did have some brown spots on some of my Lisianthus, which was, at the time I didn't know what it was, but after all the research I found out what it was. Lisianthus does require light to germinate, so above my heating pad I do have that purple, pink, blue light that I always turn on. I don't have my heating pads on my light kits on my whole setup over here, but I do have that one light that I turn on above the heat mats, and that gives it enough light to help to germinate that. A lot of this information I'm getting from the Lisianthus Seed Starters group that's on Facebook. They have a lot of files in their notes, and they have all of this invaluable resources. Seriously, they have all of these step-by-step how to start your Lisianthus by seed, and there are several experts in that group that really, if you have a question, they're more than happy to ask. And a lot of them, I'm not downing soil blocks with Lisianthus. I have not had luck with them. A lot of them start their Lisianthus in soil blocks, so it really just depends on the conditions in your basement. I know some people don't like to use soil blocks because maybe they have a drier area and they dry out too quickly, and these plug trays maybe hold the moisture a little bit longer. So there's, you know, everybody has a different way of doing things, and nothing is right or wrong. It's just what works best for you. So I'm trying this out. Okay, let's get into this. Let's see, I'm guessing Brad put duct tape over this bag. I'm guessing there's a hole in it. So I'm just gonna release the hole. Oh yeah, there's a hole. Oh God. Oh, it looks great. I should probably dump this into something where I can add a little bit of moisture to it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Am I in there? Okay, I'm in there. Oh, that looks fantastic. Okay, sit up, sit up. All right. Okay, the one thing that I can tell you right away with this is, it's gonna have to wait for the light, is, oh, it's a little dusty. It always gets me with my contacts and my breathing. I'm okay. Just let the dust settle. What I can tell you right away is this is amazingly smooth compared to the Pro Mix, and there really aren't a lot of sticks or anything with the Pro Mix, but this is so fine, which is why it's the Germination mix, because it doesn't have anything for the seedling to compete with. It has some perlite in here, but the perlite is so small that it's almost the same size as the little tiny, like this is full of probably peat moss, maybe some vermiculite. I see maybe even some cocoa. I'm gonna get the water. So I actually got some lukewarm water, and I'm going to mix that up. It's gonna probably require a lot of water. It usually does. Little bit more. I brought the perfect amount of water. So the majority of my seeds I got from Geo, and apparently this is the first time I'm ordering from Geo. I ordered a lot from Johnny's, I ordered a lot from other companies in the past. You need scissors to open up the Geo because they're plastic lined on the inside, which is a great thing because then it helps prevent moisture from getting to your seeds. But I didn't know that, and I was trying to bite it open last night when I was organizing my seeds. Okay, so, I guess we're gonna start with this one. So I'm not gonna go, at the end of the video, I'll put all of the Lisianthus that I'm growing. I'll show you pictures of everything that I'm starting here today. But right now, I'll show you just this one. This one is called Queen of the Night, and it's a pelleted seed. Lisianthus seeds are so small, so you usually buy them pelleted. I'm gonna wait until my boiler shuts off to finish this. Okay, while my boiler was on, I ended up taking out all the little trays that I have and just putting some soil in each of them. Some of these I'll put 2 varieties in, like this. I'll split it in half. There'll be a very distinct empty space in between, and put both, maybe 2 different varieties in there, maybe 2 in this one as well, in the wider ones. But anyway, lots of stuff going on here. I'm going to be labeling. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Now, if you watched my Sunflower Steve series, you'll remember that Steve recommended never starting all of your seeds just in case you have some sort of an issue and maybe there's a disease on the tray and you lose them all. At least you'll have some in a backup. So I'm not gonna start all of these. I do have 100 of each of these seeds. I'll probably start 75 and keep 25% of them just in case something happens to the crop. I'll have something to fall back on. Now, I'm not gonna count these out because that would just be tedious. They're super tiny. I'm gonna pour them all in. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. And I usually do like a method with the toothpick where you lick the end of the toothpick and you just grab a seed. I think I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle them though, because I think that that's a little tedious. Back into the Queen of the Night packet. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mist this with my mister. Oh, it's not all the way empty. I'm gonna have to go get some more though. So what this does is it helps to encourage the pellets to dissolve, because all of these seeds are in these tiny pellets, and you need the pellet to dissolve with moisture in order to get the seed to start to grow. Okay, I'm gonna go fill my mister. I've been using it on my eucalyptus and it's empty. I did see some people had those automatic misters where you just push the button and hold it and it just keeps spraying. Well, it's kind of fun. Super excited about this. Now I'm gonna get my vermiculite, and not everyone does this. You can just leave these on top like this, but a lot of people will sprinkle vermiculite on top, and there are a couple of reasons for that. It helps the retaining of the moisture inside of the seed. That's what it does. Make sure when you're buying vermiculite, you're getting the fine vermiculite, because there is some coarse vermiculite, and that will be too big. It'll compete with the seedling. So very fine vermiculite. I also hear that this helps prevent the growth of algae. We'll see. So there is tray number 1. I'm gonna get the rest of these going and put them on. I will cover this with plastic as like a little humidity dome and put it on the heat mat. let me get going on the rest. The elusive Roseanne Brown. So excited. This was my favorite last year. You guys know this. Oh my God. Oh, there's only 50 in here. I have 2 packets of it. "21 varieties of Lisianthus started, and I'm only using about 75% of my 8-foot heat mat space. So, and I actually probably could snug them up together. I've got the thermostat right here, and the link to the mats that I use is in the description below. I bought them on, actually didn't buy them, they were a gift from my father for my birthday a couple years ago. So, but he got them on Amazon. Anyway, these are just meat trays. The vermiculite I got at Lowe's. The Lavendar Germination, the soil I got, it's actually soilless, but I got it from my local nursery. I went on an order from them. Look how dark I am, guys. Let me bring my light around. Okay, so now I'm a little bit brighter. So a couple other things that I wanted to mention was that my goal is to have these in the ground on May 1st. I don't know if that's gonna happen this year. That was my goal last year and it just did not happen. But if you take a look at Jenny Love's blog on growing Lisianthus, she buys plugs. She gets hers and lets them sit for about a month in her storage area. And then she puts hers in the ground April 1st, regardless of the conditions. And she lives in Pennsylvania, which is, you know, they get snow and frost and freezes and all that stuff too. So she said that they're so snug to the ground that they can handle a little bit of a frost and maybe even a light freeze. So they're definitely something that you can get out before your last frost in the spring. So that's my attempt, is gonna be May 1st this year. I was too scared to do it last time, honestly. If I'm just being 100% honest, I was too scared. I got to be, you know, where it was gonna be like 24 degrees or 22 degrees at night, and I chickened out, and I didn't wanna put them all out there and have them all die. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing right here. I'm gonna go through the varieties with you real quick. Super Apricot, Roseanne Green, Lavendar, Magic Carpet Blue. I still have to go get plastic wrap and put that over the top of it. Luna Rose, Roseanne Brown, yes, my favorite. Roseanne the Black Pearl. Get a little bit of Johnny Depp action going in the basic. And we've got Echo Purple on this side, Echo Blue on the other side. We have Echo Champagne. I got a couple of different champagnes. Champagnes are my jam right now. I'm loving those colors. We've got ABC Yellow and ABC White in this tray. We have ABC Purple and Deep Rose. We have Bolero Blue Blush and Echo White in this tray. And we have Misty Blue and Cherry Sorbet in the final one. And I have my heat mats set to 73 degrees, and that is where they will stay. I'm gonna leave them on these heat mats for several weeks as they develop the root systems, and then probably it will be, I would say, between 5 and 7 weeks before I pot them up into the 200 plug trays. Very excited about potting them up, but you see how much space that I'm saving on my heat mats? I wouldn't be able to start all of them if I used those 200 plug trays. I mean, here's a plug tray. I put 5 of them out and that would almost be full. So definitely wouldn't have had enough room to start all of them at the same time if I used these plug trays. And there are 5 of them here. They're taped together, so if I undo the tape, I can show you how deep they are. You know, they're not super deep, but they're definitely deeper than soil blocks, so I'm hoping they're gonna give the root system a little bit of an advantage. And then I also have, you know, they have a drainage hole in the bottom, and I also have the trays that they go in so that you can bottom water them. So that's exciting. Now, when it comes to Lisianthus and succession planting, that is not something that you need to do because these are all different varieties that have different bloom times. So I was researching last night as I was labeling what I was gonna do with these, and some are 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the group numbers. The group 1 obviously is an early bloomer, and group 4 would be the later bloomer. But a lot of these will give you a second flush or even bloom all throughout the season. So with Lisianthus, I'm not gonna be succession planting unless I have like a catastrophe and I lose some seedlings. But now I'm gonna go get the plastic, cover them with plastic, and then this is the light that I was telling you about, the super expensive light. That's gonna stay on because Lisianthus does require light for germination. So that's gonna stay on. Sometimes when they just start germinating, I leave it on for 24 hours, but as soon as I see the very first signs of germination, I come down at night around 10 o'clock and shut this off and turn it on again at 6 o'clock when I get up in the morning. So we'll see. Anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. I am though, however, going to be putting a blooper on at the end. I went skiing the other day. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw this video already. I crashed and burned and it was hysterical. See you soon. Just quickly, while I'm putting plastic wrap on these things, I just remembered. So I put foam, a piece of like foam board underneath my heat mats because I found they were having trouble retaining their heat and getting up to temperature just on plywood alone down here. It's about 55 to 65 degrees in my basement on the regular. Doesn't get lower, doesn't get higher. But I found that the heat mat was having a hard time getting up to temperature. So I put these foam board pieces that I got at my local Lowe's